Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction and discussion video for the 18th episode of Season 3 of Babylon 5 called Walkabout. Last time we saw Sheridan jumping back and forth in time because his time stapler has been damaged. Future Londo declared that John and future Delenn were to be put to death, but later on Londo told them both that he was being controlled, and he had only said that to appease his controller, who seemed to be sitting on his shoulder and was not normally visible. He let them both escape, and G'Kar came into the room, and Londo asked him to kill him. In the middle of the altercation, the creature woke up, and Londo fought back, and they both seemingly died. John returned to Babylon 5, and they started to put the equipment onto the station reactor, but a power surge caused the time equipment to start the series of events that led to Babylon 4 jumping forward to when Sinclair and Garibaldi visited the station in the past, with Zathras being captured and the station being evacuated. With the station ready to go back in time, Zathras explained that Sinclair was the one that was, Delenn is the one that is, and Sheridan's the one that will be. Sinclair stayed on the station as it went back in time and the others all left. On its journey back to the previous war, we saw Sinclair use the Triluminary, and when he met the Minbari in the past, he appeared as they do and introduced himself as Valen. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
Non-heavy cruiser? This is intolerable!
Looks big against the station.
Warships will be turned over to Centauri forces.
Sorry, we didn't sign that treaty.
If
they hadn't forced us to break away, we wouldn't need a mutual protection agreement.
Right. So they made an agreement with the League of Non-Aligned Worlds that one or two of their ships, and then sort of rotating, they'd protect the station. They'd sort of be there just in case anything happened. And it looks like the Narn have done that as well. Yeah, much to the Centauri and Londo's annoyance.
Can I help you?
Yeah, why is she there?
I'm looking for Dr. Franklin. I'm afraid he's not here. He's taken a personal leave of absence from his post as Chief of Staff.
He quit. Well, yeah, that's what I thought he should do. He should take a leave of absence to get himself sorted out and then hopefully, go back. But he actually quit and, left completely.
Just arrived, and I heard about Ambassador Kosh. Anyone was there when it happened. Did anyone speak to him?
No.
Sheridan did. Not in person, but he was there in spirit. Forlorn ship.
The Forlorn transport carrying the new ambassador just came through the jump gate.
New ambassador.
With everything that's been going on around here lately, he just needed to get out a little, stretch his legs a bit, so he took a walk.
Spacewalk. Those boots look very loose. That would be a hell of a view. But I think I'd rather be just above the entrance to the docking bay. That'd give you a much better view. Whoa. Although that's a hell of a view. In English? I'm going to assume that's hello. So obviously he would be a tiny little point that wouldn't normally be visible. The Vorlon ship was flying in and it stopped. It picked him up and it flew up. And I say, I'm going to assume that was a greeting. So it actually made the effort to see him. Let's say I'd rather be above the docking bay because you'd see the ships coming right towards you and then sort of going underneath you. That would be an amazing view. But that worked out quite well. So a new Vorlon ambassador. Surprised. Oh God, I can't remember her name. Oh, the telepath. I'm surprised she didn't know that Kosh had died. She said she just found out. I'd have thought she'd have known. Well, the Narn ship does look big against the station like that.
You've managed to import Breen from Homeworld. How?
It isn't actually Brie. They are called Swedish meatballs. It's a strange thing, but every sentient race has its own version of these Swedish meatballs.
Including the planet IKEA. Well, all Swedish meatballs are pretty much just meat with spices. So yeah, I would have thought on every planet there's going to be a meat of some kind that's going to be similar in taste and texture to other meats on other planets. And there's just a case of just forming it into a ball or having it in a small format like that. So yeah, I could believe that Swedish meatballs are common on every planet. Maybe not called Swedish meatballs. That would be a bit more strange, but yeah.
Been able to determine how many of our ships survived the war.
We estimate no more than 10.
10? That's nothing.
They left some of our ships disabled, but not destroyed. Most are being repaired now, cannibalizing one to fix another.
Makes sense.
The Jatok is fully functional. Had we not been given shelter by Captain Sheridan during the last days of the war, the story might have been very different.
Plus, part of the agreement is that for protecting the station, they would get servicing on the ships, upgrades, and just restocking. So it's going to help them now if they protect the station. If they can get a few more of their ships in the rotation to do the same sort of thing, they could say Babylon 5 could help them repair more quickly. Although you don't want to take advantage of that. You don't want damaged ships coming up to protect the station. They need to be operational. There's no point.
When do we strike back? We don't.
Not with 10 ships.
For now, the most important thing we can do is lend our forces to protect this place.
He's right.
Dr. Franklin hasn't been in or out of his quarters in 3, almost 4 days.
Has anyone seen him lately?
No, that's what's got Garibaldi worried.
Would have thought they knew that the Doctor's got a lot going on. Garibaldi in particular, but Sheridan as well. I was about to call him Sinclair after the last couple of episodes. A few more weeks to get used to that. After everything that happened with the Doctor, you thought they would have been popping in to see if he's all right. Just checking up on him, so they know what he's been going through and his addictions and stuff.
Damn, I should have gone to see him.
Yeah, should.
Well, when he told me he was hooked on stims, I didn't know what to say.
No, you don't necessarily need to say anything. Just be there.
That's no excuse. I hope he's okay.
Just pop him around, say hello, watch a film, chill out. That's what's needed. Just be there for what he wants to say. It's very often you see them walking through a door because they don't fit to the doors.
I didn't know Ambassador Kosh as well as I might have wished. I'm not sure anyone did, really.
No.
You'll occupy his quarters, and we are to refer to you by his name when we're in public. Is that correct?
Literally replace him. What? Now, Forlorns aren't talkative at the best of times, but this one seems particularly less chatty than normal, which is pretty tough.
How should I refer to you when we're alone? Kosh. Privately? Kosh.
Yeah.
We are all Kosh.
To be fair, they meant to be replacing Kosh, and they're meant to refer to him as Kosh when people are around. Makes sense just to call him Kosh at all times. Keeps the pretense going, and if people are spying or anything, makes perfect sense. We are all Kosh.
Well, he's a Vorlon, all right.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So he's all right.
Steve. Fine.
He's not in uniform.
You've been using your credit sheets and traveling in a straight line. I figured I'd jump ahead of that line.
Good idea.
Look, just give me the short version, okay?
Walkabout.
That's it.
Hey, it's that or the long version.
That is pretty succinct.
You know, as a foundationist, I was always taught that if you're not careful, you can lose yourself in the world.
Foundationalist.
Busy with things, not busy enough with yourself.
Oh, oranges. Well, from what we've seen so far, fresh fruit and things like that, very hard and expensive to get hold of. So, interesting, he's got a couple of them. He's given one away to Garibaldi.
By going walkabout. The theory is, if you separate it from yourself, you start walking, and you keep walking, till you meet yourself.
You're a doctor, a scientist.
Well, I kind of get what he's saying. Basically, yeah, you leave your life, which is basically, that's the problem for him. It's his job, his life, and everything he's doing is causing him the problems. So he's literally left that and just gone off just to wander around, see what he comes across, experience life. He's trying foods there, and he's probably meeting people as he walks around, and yeah, so he's just trying to re-find himself and what's important to him, and without the trappings of his job and everything, his responsibilities. So it kind of makes sense.
And what?
Exactly.
He sounds like a Vorlon. It's got a bit of a Darth Vader thing going on. Shadow.
I was just coming to see you.
Oh, nice to see you too.
There was no other.
No, not that I knew of.
Yes, there was.
He's gone.
So it sounds like they're saying if someone else had been there, part of Kosh would have survived. But the fact that no one was there meant that he was completely gone. That seems really reminiscent of Spock from Star Trek. They're catchers. Don't want to say any spoilers, but I mean, they're old films. I'm quite sure most people watching this have probably seen those films as well. But yeah, Spock obviously died. That's fairly known in one of the films. But his catcher lived on, and they got him back. So it seems to be the same sort of theory, but they don't know that he was in contact with Sheridan telepathically. So I'm assuming that that's what happened. Actually, part of him is still alive in Sheridan.
How are you settling in with the new ambassador?
Fine.
Don't think so.
Any problems with the ambassador, I hope you'll let me know.
Is there a problem?
Right. So yeah, part of when he was having that conversation with Sheridan telepathically when he was being killed, part of him is in Sheridan, part of Kosh is in Sheridan, and she just picked it up, even though it was him speaking, she heard it as Kosh.
There's something I need you to do.
What?
Do you remember when you told me
It's a weird microphone.
Hi, I'm gonna have this.
What is that? It's like coffee. I think there's a mixture of races in there, and I would assume all drinks aren't compatible with all races. He's not even going to drink it. I'll have trivia, but I'm wondering if that's actually his wife in real life. We saw her before his wife. I had some trivia on it, and I've got a feeling that's the same woman. I'm not sure. I said a flashback to the Cantina, I don't know you pronounce it, Cantina band in Star Wars then. You saw him with the hobo. Do, 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 do. Oh, that's looks futuristic, like an oboe there. Or is it an oboe? I think it's an oboe. I don't think he was actually playing it. It's just a prop. The way he was acting, that particular instrument, anyway.
Mr. Garibaldi recently uncovered information which seems to indicate the shadows have a weakness.
How come some of them get seats, but the guys in the back don't? The other members of the league. Surely they need a bigger table with more seats. I can't remember what race the guy is on the right. No, can't remember. But so he's got a seat. Is it because he's the spokesman for the League of Non-Aligned Worlds? he did speak, I think, in a few other episodes when the others were behind him, so maybe that's the reason.
In theory, a telepath might be able to jam their central...
Oh, is that the favour that he wants from Lita?
There's a number of conditional phrases in that. Seems to...
Might, yeah.
We have to find out if we're right. I have decided to test the proposition.
That involves a fight.
I've asked our only resident telepath, Lita Alexander, to come along.
Ooh, that's a big favour.
As soon as we hear of a shadow attack, we'll jump out and engage one of their fleet ships.
Whoa.
Times that we ran into full-blown shadow vessels, the only way we got out alive was by outsmarting them. We used Jupiter's gravity to destroy
Yep, and the jump gate.
Which makes this mission absolutely essential.
That's true. Yeah, he's used unusual tactics previously, but that's not going to work every time. Now they need a weapon that they can use every time they fight. That's what they're trying to do. That's a big favour to ask Lita, because if this doesn't work, or even if it does work, there could be more ships, and they might not be able to stop them all. Then, she could die in the attack. So yeah, it's a hell of a favour to ask. But she said yes, and I assume she knows the risks. There's also the side of would that Vorlon let her go as well? I'm assuming she's now his aide, or their aide. That's a better way of putting it. So yeah.
If any of you could send along one of your ships as escort.
Only the Jatok is capable of a mission of this nature. I will have to discuss this with her captain.
It's a big ship.
Dylan?
Lots of power.
Consider it done.
Oh, so she's saying as well.
Anyone else?
Again, I can't remember the race. Is it Pakmara? I think. He's holding on a leaflet or something, or some paper. Maybe some reports or something, or a translation of what Sheridan's saying. But he is like, look down, not making eye contact. It's quite funny seeing that other species do the same sort of thing that we do.
Lita is a B5. She may not be strong enough.
Bring along a couple of Minbari telepaths on the other ship.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to minimize the risks.
Not minimizing anybody's risk if you don't bring back solid information.
Completely.
I agree.
So do I.
All agreed, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Council has spoken.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he's not used to it. He's used to being in command. And yeah, what he says goes. But it looks like with the War Council, yes, he's running it, but it is a bit more of a democracy. And they all seem to have a vote and power. That's interesting to see that. But I completely agree. They're absolutely right. Go in with the one ship, with a telepath, fine. But put telepaths on the other ships that are supporting him. And if the one doesn't work, bring in others. You can then see the levels you need to be able to take it down. Makes perfect sense.
You look like you're waiting for somebody.
I was. She just got here.
Oh, dear. Now, normally I'd be all over him being funny with women, but she's not a patient. So he wants to pull a woman in a bar. Fair play to him, go for it. He has no medical responsibility for her that I know of, so that's fine. It was just very cheesy the way he did it.
I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor there. Or was.
I saw you watching me up there, and it was like 2 lasers.
I'd be surprised you'd actually be able to see anything up there with all the lights on her. She wouldn't be able to pick out individuals watching her. It would just be darkness and figures as far as she's concerned up on the stage. Is that some sort of metaphor? The fact that she was looking at him through the glass and he was split into multiple images of him. Is that sort of a metaphor for the fact that he's sort of fractured at the moment and not a whole person? Not sure.
Sheridan is embarking upon a fool's mission.
I wouldn't say fool's mission, dangerous mission.
But our few remaining ships are our only hope of ever reclaiming Homeworld.
What if we withdraw our support?
You need the support of everyone else.
We cannot squander our resources, Jakar.
Shakar's in more position to know everything that's going on, more of the detail. That I'm assuming the captain doesn't know all the detail about the reports that have come in about the telepaths being able to cause harm, and obviously he doesn't know them, but Babylon 5 is giving them all the support and help that they need. I don't understand what he's saying, but they're not going to win a war on their own. They need the support of other races and other people to do this. One ship. I know they've only got 10. Oh, I don't know. I do understand where he's coming from, but it's a little bit short-sighted what he's saying. Says fool's missions, but a bit harsh. So definitely a dangerous mission, but the evidence is there to say that it could work or should work.
Ship's log. We're en route to...
God, it looks small compared to the Minbari ship. So that's it, just a Minbari ship and the White Star. Why is she doing that?
I have a theory that I can see through to someone's soul.
No, you can't.
What are you doing here?
I don't quite know myself.
I think we do.
I discussed the situation with War Leader Nakal. He felt it was better to conserve our resources.
Well, yeah, of course you would.
When that cruiser popped out of hyperspace, we should have just let the Centauri take custody of it in the first place.
He's not wrong.
Well, he doesn't want to go.
Of course he doesn't, yeah.
It's easy to fight when you got a lot of ships to work with. The real crunch comes when you're down to almost nothing.
He's right. If you've got a small number of ships, you've got to take a chance. They're completely outnumbered. Just attacking with that number of ships, they'd lose. They need to do things that are going to help, things outside the norm. Yeah, he's absolutely right.
It's not Nikal's decision, Jakar. He doesn't see the big picture.
Exactly.
Deal with it.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. And I am a bit surprised that Shakar responded in that way initially by deferring to the commander's opinion of things. I would have thought Shakar would have stood up a bit more.
Just wish there was something I could do.
There is. Medazine?
Drugs.
That stuff is prescription only. It's a narcotic.
I know it. It helps me sleep.
You could sleep a lot better.
Not drinking so much.
You didn't drink as much as you do.
So is that the only reason she sort of slept with him? She thinks he can get her drugs.
Look, you asked if there was anything you could do.
True, but I don't think that's quite what he meant. The White Star is it's quite a small ship. You sort of see the front window, and that's obviously the bridge, and I know how big the window is in relation to them and where their location is. So yeah, it's not actually that big a ship. It's quite surprising. I thought it would be a bit bigger.
How did you find out Kash had died?
It was strange. I
Or was he going to tell her?
woke up out of a dream and I just knew somehow.
We're picking up a distress signal from a relay post in the target area.
Is it them?
Surely, regardless of if it's them, you still go to help.
Tell the Minbari ship to stand by in hyperspace until we signal.
Okay. So just send the one ship in for now. Oh, are they too late? Oh no. Oh, God, that was easy, unfortunately. Oh. Well, it's definitely communication.
I think it knows we're here.
Yeah. I think when Lita tried communicating with it or stopping it, it would have picked her up.
Leader!
Gosh!
So she saw him die through Sheridan. And she's angry. Whoa.
It's not moving.
Oh, that's a cool effect.
You're gonna do it.
Ooh. So it's physically affecting her.
More power to the weapon system, Mr. Lanier.
So is it fighting her?
I'll have to take the jump engines offline.
Hmm.
But if I do, we won't be able to make a jump for 20 standard minutes.
It takes 20 minutes to restart the jump engines. Looks like that's it, that's destroyed. Oh, is that his access card or something?
I think it got off a distress call before we killed it.
So there's more on the way.
How much longer before we can jump?
Another 10 standard minutes.
Well, bring the Minbari ship in. It's got its own jump engine. So you bring that in, and then you say, right, we need to leave, and it opens the jump gate again, jump point again, and they both leave that way. Although I don't know how long it takes. Once it's jumped into normal space, is there a delay before it can reopen a jump point again? Might need engines to cool down. Don't know, but that's only one way to get out.
Jump point opening.
A jump point opening, but I don't think they travelled via jump points. They sort of phase in and out.
Are you sure we can't jump?
Positive.
Run.
Run for it.
Yeah. Well, certainly the first thing you do. That buys you some time. Minbari ship. Yep.
How many telepaths do you have on board?
Yep.
3.
3.
There are 4 of those ships.
We'll do what we can.
Well, with Lita as well, that's 1 for each of them. But she struggled at first. It was only her anger that really did it.
One's getting through. Evasive action.
Oh, so they haven't got Lita. She too weakened from the first attack.
Weapon system at 60% of normal.
That last one took everything I had.
Let's go with the Narn. Yeah. Okay.
White Star, are you all right?
Oh, he's on there.
Oh, I'm not on the Jatok, Captain.
And I brought some friends.
Has he brought all? Oh! I thought he would have brought. He was going to bring some more of the Narn ships, the 10. So he was really going all in. But he looks like he's taken Gareth all these words to heart, and he basically went and talked to the League of Non-Aligned Worlds, and said basically, "You are all coming with me. We're all going there to support Sheridan." That's good. This is going to help them form together more, but also a win as well. That's going to be really good. So yeah, a non-heavy cruiser and the White Star at reduced power took on 1 shadow ship and won. So that's good. Retreat. Took out 2 of their ships and they ran. That's a hell of a win. And
so it begins.
And brought the League of Non-Aligned Worlds and them all closer together. She overdosed.
Come on, kid. Wake up.
Well, why does ID work for one thing? Surely if he's quit his job, or even if he's on leave, they would have disabled his ID.
Good to see you back, Doctor.
I'm not.
Just visits him.
Doctor, it wasn't an overdose.
Oh.
She was diagnosed with terminal neuroparalysis a little over 2 years ago.
Nothing like a bit of ignoring patient-doctor confidentiality. She's telling him all this. He is no longer in charge of the facility. He's... Plus, even if he... I don't know. This is really wrong that she's telling him all this. He's not there as a medical professional. He's there as someone who knows. They met for one night, but this woman, she shouldn't be telling him this information.
Incurable. She took it pretty hard. She had a pretty good career going back home as a singer.
So, yeah, I assumed she was an addict, but she just wanted it for pain.
You didn't tell me you were such a big shot around here.
Well, he's not anymore.
Singing's the only thing that's ever meant a damn to me. Lets me know I'm alive. But the people you got living in down below, Steve, they're at the end of their ropes.
So she can do more good there than she can on Earth.
I can make a difference.
Till you die.
Yeah, but we are all gonna die from something, huh?
True. Might as well do the best you can whilst you're here.
I just needed something to help me get through the pain. Don't send me away.
Well, might be him. Garibaldi might be involved if she's been stealing his card to steal drugs. That's quite a serious thing.
I'm fine.
I'd still like you to stop by MedLab and let them take a look at you.
Yeah, she was bleeding from her eyes. Need to make sure her brain's okay. It's not any sort of swelling or anything.
I told you I don't have a piece of cash. But it's possible. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Someone else does.
That was a nice end shot because of what you're doing with the glass. Okay. Interesting episode. So I'm surprised that Jakar didn't offer to help straight away and deferred so easily to the commander. Don't know, that seemed a bit unusual. But yeah, then when Garibaldi said what he did, which was the right thing to do, and then turning up in the fight like that with not just the Narn ship, but the League of Non-Aligned Worlds as well. That was good. So yeah, they took out 2 shadow ships. So the second one was surprisingly easy in some ways. Say 1 Narn heavy cruiser and a reduced power White Star. So that's not a huge amount of firepower to take out one of them. Obviously, was Lita doing something as well? She said that she couldn't get through. Doesn't mean that she wasn't trying and distracted it as well. So let's say she did help as well. And they took it out. So that's reassuring. But then when all the other ships arrived as well, the other 3 were scared away. They ran. I mean, that's a huge thing for everyone to see. Say 2 ships destroyed and 3 ships ran. That's quite the confidence boost. So yeah, that was good. And now they know that telepaths are a good weapon and their firepower can defeat them. So yeah, that's a big thing. So yeah, it seems like they put telepaths on all their ships now. That gives them good protection. So Lita is a level 5 telepath. So they're going to need at least level 5, if not higher, on all the ships. And so there seems to be a part of Kosh in Sheridan. Yeah. Interesting. So a little voice in his head. Wonder what that actually means, that there's part of him in there. Don't know. Yeah, so definitely an interesting episode. A few key things happened that are going to obviously be big going forward, I should think. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next episode. Be seeing you.